welcome to the Northwest Treatment Vidcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Léa. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Hi, Jessica. So today, what are we going to talk about?
Well, one of the things we wanted to talk about today is a concept that many people in mental health have run across before, which is how to describe how much energy you might have in the day, in a moment, in a situation. Specifically, it came from the world of disabilities, but specifically what we call invisible disabilities, which is a lot of times chronic pain or chronic fatigue, things that you can't outwardly see. So when you see someone pull up to the store and have a disabled parking spot and permit, but get out of the car and seem to look like everybody else, a lot of times people who don't have those issues have a hard time understanding.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely identify with that from when I was younger.
Right. And so it's really easy to see someone who has a broken leg or a broken arm and kind of justify any special treatment or, maybe allowances with education or at work. But there's a lot of people that need help, and disability is a huge category. And there was an individual who came up with this idea and started writing about it on the internet, a woman who owns a blog and runs it, talking about how she has some chronic illnesses but doesn't seem to look like she's disabled. So the blog is run by Christine Miss Sarandino. Sorry if I get the pronunciation wrong. But she runs this great blog about her life dealing with an invisible illness and disabled situation. And it's this great concept called spoon theory. And the idea is she had to come up with how to describe her situation to a friend and family member who had no idea. So the idea is when you wake up in the morning, if you have a lot of energy, right? You don't think about getting up, taking a shower, getting dressed, making coffee, going to work, right?
Right.
And a lot of times we'll get to work and have some normal up and downs in our moods. Hey, maybe I don't like that coworker or I have too many emails. But you can still get through it pretty easy, right? Then there are people that have these disabilities or illnesses that really prevent them from doing that. And they have to make a very conscientious effort and plan about how and what they're going to get done in their day. And so the idea is you wake up with a lot of spoons, right? And so it's a physical concept. Like you can hold in your hand, say, 5 spoons.
Right.
So if you're younger or a kid running around, you jump out of the bed, they're running around like crazy because they wake up with an infinite number of spoons. As soon as they lose them, say they get cranky, they take a nap, they eat a carrot, they're much better.
Right.
With your kids, probably hand them some sugar and they're good to go.
Yeah, we try not to do the sugar because of the crash later on, but
Exactly. It's like a temporary spoon.
Yeah.
But then you can have people who wake up and didn't sleep well because maybe they have massive sleeping issues or chronic pain or PTSD that gives them nightmares. So you wake up with maybe 5 spoons. And whereas someone who is neurotypical and does not have any mental health or illness issues would, let's say, spend 1 spoon equivalently getting up, getting showered, eating breakfast, getting out the door, that it takes someone who has more struggles. It takes 1 whole spoon to get out of bed on time and put on pants. It takes 1 whole spoon to make a meal. It takes 1 whole spoon to take a shower. It takes 1 whole spoon to get to work on time and look happy to be there.
So then the idea being that if you've got 5 spoons for the day, you've already, by the 10 o'clock, you've used up all your spoons.
Right. And then you don't have any left to do any shopping you need to do on the way home for food. You aren't able to help out coworkers. You're not able to get your work done. And so if there's accommodations being made where they could work from home, it means they wouldn't have to deal with traffic or a car, right? They wouldn't have to interact quite as intimately with coworkers because they could limit it to technology, which is what we're all doing now.
Right.
But it's an interesting idea. And so it's been circulating a lot in mental health areas. It is good to know it does come from the invisible illness and disability area. That is good to honor where it came from. It's not the same as someone who's neurotypical and who's just tired or grumpy that day saying they're out of spoons. That's not the same. That's kind of taking that into a nonchalant, non-important kind of realm. And we do want to keep it more towards true either mental health concerns or physical concerns.
Right. No, that makes a lot more sense. And I think you actually were the one that introduced me to the concept of spoons, because before then I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, it does hit certain areas and focuses differently. I know quite a few people in my life and friends and family who either have mental illness or some version of a chronic pain. And so it comes up more in those circles. And then I think only about a year ago, I heard a reference that was pretty great because Léa, you and I both kind of are in the geek realm. We enjoy
Yes.
our geekdoms. Um, I heard that someone had come up with the same idea, the spoon theory, had heard of it, loved it, was trying to talk to a friend of theirs about it who didn't understand it. And they shifted it to talk about Dungeon and Dragon reference. So
That's
a
right.
D&D reference, which is spell slots for wizards.
And you keep rolling a 3 when you're trying to hit a 15. Just
Right.
not quite hitting it right.
Right. Or you might, as a wizard with spells in D&D, you might be able to do one massive big thing like a lightning strike, but that takes everything in you versus tiny little things that might be more helpful. And the idea is we all have limited resources. It's just a matter of how limited are they? And
Right.
when they are so limited, you do need to take extra time to plan your days, to plan your weeks. Right. And that's really hard for people that don't have those same concerns to understand.
Well, and if you're dealing with chronic fatigue and chronic pain or any of those different things, it also, or even depression or anxiety,
Right.
planning your day can take up a spoon sometimes, maybe 2.
Right. And it's hard for us to necessarily understand it. And so it's a great way to just talk about it and be more aware.
Yeah, it is. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, I hope you guys find that useful. We will put links down below in our description for both the D&D reference for spell slots and the original post.
And with that, we wish you to be well and to be healthy.
See you guys next time.